Hi everyone. So let's do a reading for what you don't see. Sometimes as we're manifesting things, we don't always know that we could be indirectly or unconsciously or unwittingly manifesting things. So it's always good to know kind of what's on our minds, what's in our subconsciousness, what we don't see. And the big picture oracle system is a really good way to do that, to find that out. So I'm going to do a 5x3 spread. We're starting with the bed, the ring, the eye, the fox, the book, the snake, the garden. This is you right in the center of your reading. The tree, the child, the letter, the dog, the woman, the broken mirror, and finally we have the hearth. So I'm seeing right away that this is a very significant reading simply because we're seeing you at the center of this particular reading. In each of these two corners tell a large part of the story. And this, I'm seeing the bed and I'm seeing the hearth. So this could be that there is something very passionate yet toxic going on around you. And I say that because I also see the fox and the snake. And the bed is often something that represents, it's in the original decks, this was meant to be the sick bed. But in the more modern versions of this is more of an idea of toxicity or areas where we need to heal these types of energies. So I can see that there is some healing that has to go on, having to do with probably relationships, probably our interpersonal relationships, the people we engage with, perhaps even the people that we are passionate about. But let's start by reading this middle line across. So we have the snake, the garden, there's you, the tree, and the child. So it feels like there is some energy around you that you are probably well aware of that's not a good energy. This toxicity is kind of all in this area here with the bed and the snake, that there's someone in your greater circle. So not necessarily someone who you are intimate with or someone who you particularly engage with, not someone in your inner circle, not someone who you live with, but there's someone else. This with the snake in the garden gives me a third party kind of energy where there's someone who's interfering, but at a distance. So make that make sense for you. This is someone you don't know, but yet it feels kind of personal. So we'll keep going to see if we can get some more information regarding that. But I see you really moving forward away from this with the help of your ancestors. The tree is often our ancestors, our lineage, our roots, and it could be guides from your ancestry. It could be spirit guides, could be angels, but I do see them nudging you to something new with the child card there. It's telling me that you're moving away from whatever this toxic environment is and you're headed straight towards something new. So that's all the energy that I'm seeing. But now we're going to get to more of the nuances of what these cards are trying to tell us. So if we look at this 3x3 spread here, so these 9 cards that are in the center of this spread, we can see that these two corners, there's the ring and the broken mirror. So there's some commitment that you have made, perhaps in this outer ring of people that you know, or perhaps a more intimate connection, because the rings can represent our marriages, our contracts, these types of things, our business contracts, people that we interact with, perhaps our clients or customers. But there's something there that you don't see correctly with this broken mirror. And that's the question that we asked. What do you not see? If we look at these two corners, we're seeing the fox and the dog. So again, there's someone who's presenting themselves in their energy to be a loyal person, but yet they're not with the fox. There's someone here, we're seeing the snake and the fox. So there's someone here who is really only serving their own self-interest when it comes to whatever this situation is that feels to be extremely important to you. But they're presenting themselves to be someone loyal. We're seeing the ring and the dog, and it's on the face of it, it appears that this person is on your side, loyal to you, cooperative, but not really, because this fox is very much telling me that, and so is the snake. So if you are dealing with colleagues, business partners, customers, clients that you feel intuitively are not above board in some way, then this is your reading. I can see that you are being supported by a woman, and she's falling right next to the dog. So there is definitely someone in your energy here who wants to support you and is loyal and is on your side. And I think that you see that person clearly, because we're seeing the eye right above you, which tells me that that whoever this woman represents to you, and it doesn't have to be a woman, it can just represent a person, but there is a supportive, loyal person around you, and you know that. But yet there's this other person who's kind of in an outer ring of your life who may be trying to run some kind of interference in your life, in your situation. So in this corner up here, we have the fox and the book. And the fox and the book coming together represents someone who is intentionally keeping secrets. And so I do feel like this is something that you do not know. You don't see that there's a person or people around you who are really trying to keep something from you, hide something from you. And what you don't see is this letter and this dog. And this is a communication from a friend. So I believe it has to do with this woman. So what this is very clearly telling me, at least this is what I'm getting, is that there is a person, could be a woman for some of you, who is a very good friend, who's going to come in and communicate something to you that you did not know about another person. So there's this tricky person in your energy, but there's also a closer confidant in your energy who's about to tell you something you didn't know about this situation. So that's what these cards are really telling me. So then finally, I like to read these two arrows. There's a downward pointing arrow here, and there's an upward pointing arrow here. So if we look here, if we read it this way, this is saying there's definitely a toxic energy in the environment around you, but not your close circle. It's an outer circle. And then we have woman with tree. So this is telling me that this could be a spirit guide or a family member, a female spirit guide, a female family member perhaps that knows this secret. And then if we look at the arrow pointing upwards going this way, there is a communication coming in about your outer environment that's going to help you see something more clearly so that you can start rooting down with whoever this is that's in your energy, this woman here, that you can start seeing the greater picture and get a healthier relationship. You can grow now. So what this is really telling me is your environment was so toxic here with the bed and the garden. But once this woman reveals it to you, your growth can really come in. Once this communication comes in and you see it, your growth can really come in. And that's when your creative energies can really expand. So if you feel like your creative energies have been suppressed lately, it's because there's a person in your environment who's blocking you and you don't even know it. There's secrets around you, but there's someone who really loves you, perhaps a spirit guide or an ancestor or a family member. There's someone who really loves you that's going to come in and tell you the truth in this situation. And then all of a sudden, you're going to see this growth and expansion of your creative energies. Those blocks are going to just become unblocked. So that's what you don't see. You don't see that there's a person headed towards you with the truth about a secret that's all around you. So there you go. That is your big picture oracle reading for what you don't see. Will you please let me know how this was resonant for you? Consider subscribing to the channel if you like my vibe, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.